All-Star Game. We got to turn on all the lights. We got a smoke up here. With the fog machine, guys. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? You're talking to me. You are not talking to me. I asked you a question. Are you ready? That's more like it. Bro, you gotta clap. You gotta scream. You gotta start them bleachers, whatever you need to do. But we need that fire. We need the energy. And my question again is, are you ready? All right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. We're ready. Number 1, Team Wisconsin. Representing Northern Kings of Central, give it up for Ethan Messiah. Give it up for Diego Reyes for Team Breakout South. You got applause for number 3.
So, good morning, dear. Go ahead. Oh, you funny. Right on time, right? Is this the game we're broadcasting? Oh, yeah.
Represented CYBL Balance. Give it up for
The man hanging, eh?
represented Triple Balance. Russell.
How you doing? How's the drive?
Pretty chill. I guess we got extra envelopes. What did you end up doing?
You know what? I ended up having enough because I thought I wasn't gonna have enough, but then it worked out. I got a picture here with my boy Rod.
Rod, that's the young one?
He won MVP.
Oh, really?
Grade 5 MVP.
This is jokes.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I was gonna say, so what's the situation? When do we get on after this?
Yeah, so zip off and get on.
These things they get harder and harder. Jeez, man. Come on. Give it up for number 11. The Rock. Tattoo. Give it up for number 12. Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for number 13. Joseph representing and you gotta give it up nice and loud for your coaching staff. Give it up for your head coach, Sean Northern Kings. And representing Triple Balance, ladies and gentlemen, your assistant coach. Give it up for Kevin Blacko. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, please, big round of applause. Team Wisconsin. Are we ready again? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Let's go.
Are you able to?
Here we go. Let's see. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Team in white. Are we ready? We're here. We're down here and we are good to go. Stop looking. Pump that. We're here. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep it going. Now the audience. Everybody here, are you ready? I said if you're ready, make some noise. I'm gonna try this now. If you're ready, somebody say the guy wearing number 25. Give it up for Ron. The new CYBL. You gotta keep it across for number 15. Kevin, CYBL. Give it up. Give it up. Yep. Number 19. Represents the NBA collective. Give it up for Terrence Thomas. Give it up for number 20. Represents the NBA collective. Give it up for Josiah Sutton. You gotta give it up also for number 18. Represents the for number 21, representing Woodbridge basketball, give it up for Matthew. Give it up for number 22, representing Chicago. Give it up for Rayshawn John Michael. You gotta give it up for number 36, representing Chicago as well. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for number 37, representing Toronto City Elite. Give it up for Jordan Rookman. Your coaching staff, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tony McNeil, representing Oakland Downs. Joined by assistant coach, the guy, the Saka, from the Little Kicks. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time the lights are off. Here's what we need. Bring the second CYBL All-Star Team. Come on. Give it up, give it up, give it up. As we get ready, 16 minutes on the clock. 16 minutes on the clock. We are ready for the first half. Ready for the first half. Team Utah. Team Wisconsin. Who's taking on that beat? I don't know. If you're here to cheer on, Team Utah makes it over. If you're here representing Team Wisconsin, make some noise. Wow. Now if you're here to watch the Red Panther All-Star 2018 there, make some noise. I'm gonna say a bunch of you guys in the back serious. I need to meet you like this. Yes. Who else? Here we go, come on.
Almost done.
We get ready to jump this ball. Yeah. Who's gonna do the court?
Thank you.
Is it gonna be a continuous thing?
What a cute.
Is it gonna be that continuous and a constant thing of the black team winning, and I know the team winning that? Or is it gonna be the white team that's put this thing? It's been the black team.
Scott Boogie's amazing on the DJ.
What's going on?
That shit's really good, man.
Unfortunately, my team is winning the gold.
He's no joke.
Kids had fun. It was awesome.
I like it.
Now we have the black team.
Mine? That's it.
Wow. Here you go, buddy. I got one for you too.
Is it gonna be these guys?
I do, man.
Or is it gonna be the team in white? Team Utah? I don't know.
Okay. These are the names here?
Yes. Team affiliations.
All day. The team wearing black all day. I don't know. Is it team black?
And we're live here, Thornley Secondary, for the CYBL All-Star Game. 7th graders going head-to-head in this amazing event. As the smoke starts to settle, having tip-off here at half court. A packed crowd. Tons of Ontario basketball players also in attendance. Beside me, I have National Scout Tarek Spate.
What's up, Nick? Happy to be here. Was here last season, and it's great to catch all the young guys on the come up. This is really the beginning of us tracking their careers, and for the next 6 years until they finish high school is the next jump that they will make to the post-secondary level.
Very diverse roster here. I see Team Breakdown, Brampton, Northern Kings, CIA Bounce. We've got some Oakville in there.
Oakville Venom.
Waterloo, Hamilton has some representation. Woodbridge.
Lovely to see talent from all over the province. It's one thing, as we continue to track kids all over the country, you got Toronto, of course, which is a hotbed. Then you look at the Bramptons and the Mississaugas contributing to a large portion of the NBA talent. But then you got guys like the Waterloo scene, Waterloo Wolverines, little Jamal Murray action out of there. I know you've been watching a lot of those young prospects coming up. Jasmine is a familiar name I'm sure we'll see as well.
See him in the 8th grade game. We've also got shoe sizes, so 7th graders with the 13.5.
13 and a half, wow. Here we go, tip off. White picks it up off the scramble. Out of bounds, first turnover of the game. Really looking forward to get familiar with a lot of these names. A lot of new names on both sides. Are you familiar with any of these guys, Nick?
Right off the top, obviously Barak Jamgoose, Okai playing in our league. He follows the family tree in terms of being a spot-up deep shooter.
Younger brother of Okai Jamgoose, class of 2020 sniper, and to this point, best shooter in the country, regardless of class, as far as I see it.
Then we got a bunch of guys here that I'm looking forward to getting familiar with. I look from Waterloo, we've got Nicholas Simonovic. So continuing that strong Serbian background. In the tri-region.
The last possession there, that was Diego Ramos with the free throws. Split them 1-0 early on. On the inbound is Romel Russell with the triple balance, representing that club. Nice shot there by Meshach Morant out of NBA Collective.
So as we collect here for the grade 7 game, what are your kind of thoughts of the culture that's brewing? We see that Barak Jamgoose, Okai's brother. Okai obviously played in the CYBL as well. Earlier on, we had Elijah Patterson win the MVP. brother of Addison Patterson.
That's a good basketball genes right there, Nick.
So there's a culture brewing. What are your thoughts of it when it pertains to the CYBL?
I love what Shane James and the company are doing. They've been building this for the last few years now, and it looks like each year stepping up as far as the entertainment value, as well as, of course, there's talent on the floor, no question. And as you look back, 3-4 years later, you see these guys continue to get to the next level, whether that be the NBA, the NCAA, Canadian University. It's just amazing to kind of see all the talent under one roof. Anytime you have a collection of talent coming from different cities and different club programs, speaks to how diverse, as you mentioned early on, the basketball community is. And that's what we're seeing here at the CYBL. We're seeing a great basketball community together.
Team Wisconsin has the ball deep. 3 there by number 8, Miles Escalona.
And they are mimicking the guy on the wall right there, Steph Curry in the backdrop, who's really changed the game at the NBA level in terms of how both he and the Golden State Warriors, how they play up tempo, don't hesitate to launch from 3, and as I say that, another one goes. Lots of 3 balls in this day and age.
Utah on the run out there, can't finish. It'll be a held ball. Steph Curry dropped 49 last night. Not sure if you watched the game.
Chef Curry, that is.
Him and Kyrie had a battle. Kyrie 37, Steph with the W.
Two of the best point guards in the league right there.
Game changers.
Kyrie Irving's a sleeper, not anymore a sleeper, but a guy that was a little overshadowed with LeBron, and as we talked about the basketball debates, he's a guy that you need to look out for come playoff time.
Utah here with the ball. So a cool thing that they've done here at the CYBL is they've affiliated every team with an Under Armour sponsored team. So right now the black team will be Wisconsin and the white team will be Utah, University of Wisconsin, University of
Oh, nice
Utah.
touch. Didn't know that was the thinking behind it, but it's a nice touch right there. 8-0 early on. Lots of threes and some sloppy play. I'm sure both sides really excited to get this going, and as it settles down,
there should be, well, most likely there will be nerves for these kids. I mean, I don't know if they've ever come out with the smoke and the laser beams
I doubt
before.
it. Highly doubt it. The smoke, the laser beams, the crowd. It's a really high level environment for these kids, and it's a great preparation of things to come. Right now with it, number 8, Miles Escalona, representing Toronto City Elite. Up top, giving it up. Number 5 there, Romel Russell with the 3, no good.
Out of bounds.
A lot of three-pointers being chucked here at the beginning of the game as these guys continue to get more comfortable with the flow, the dynamics of everything that's going on. I expect a little bit more consistency on the court.
Here we go in transition. Team Wisconsin with it. Ethan Messiah gives it up. Ramel Tissington off to the corner. Some good ball movement here from Wisconsin on the attack. Once again, as Diego Ramos has had a strong start early on.
Looks like they called maybe a travel there. Turnover. Substitutions coming in. New looks.
I'm just smiling as I'm looking at these guys. They're so young. You can see what they can become with their length, their wingspan, and they're so pure. That's why I love it at this age group. It's just pure love for the game.
Definitely what fuels every player at this age.
Wow. Nearly gets it to go. That was Kevin Toth of CIA. Bounce off the mark on that one. And Nick, I know you'll be tracking these guys, especially at the junior level, as you're watching them through the CYBL, and then as we transition to the spring at the MPH Showcase circuit, we're really excited to see that next crop. As we're looking at the past now, the other day I was just going through our national rankings, we're reviewing the class of 2012, and now you're looking at what 2018 is. You know, at the top of that class, you've got guys like, you know, RJ Barrett, you have Semi Shitu, Andrew Nemhard, Lugens Dort, Ignis Brzezikas, who's got a younger brother here as well. You know, Jalen Llewellyn. You're looking at these legit NBA prospects, and it seems that every class, as we transition forward, it just keeps getting deeper. It's pretty special to see, especially starting off with that 2011 class, Tristan Thompson, Corey Joseph, that really set off the golden generation, as they call it.
It was funny because we were sitting there and looking at the top 5 to 10 guys in the ranking system. It was high major, NBA. So the talent pool is getting much deeper, but the exposure is finally catching up as well.
Absolutely, and you know, I think that exposure piece can be a gift and a curse. Certainly providing these kids with more opportunities and inspiration. You know, for now these kids look at the guys that are in the NBA, and it's no longer far to reach from Canada. They're just looking at guys that are there, and they're saying they can get there as well, especially at this age group. 10-1 early on. We'll take a quick break. 11 minutes to go here. We are live from Thornlea for the CYBL All-Star Weekend.
So here we go, Team White on the inbound. That's Team Wisconsin.
We're back at it here from Thornhill, Ontario. And right out of the timeout there, Anderson Cummins, another familiar name, younger brother to Denzel and Isaiah Cummins.
It's a very deeply rooted tree in the basketball family, the Cummings.
It seems like every player on the floor has an older brother that hooped at a pretty high level.
We spoke about Ignis early on. His brother Augustus. Great names, by the way, is also in the league. So it's a big culture shift when we're going into now looking at basketball families opposed to just basketball individuals.
Yeah, when you're the younger brother, we spoke about its inspiration piece. When you're the younger brother, you're watching your older brother make mistakes and learning from them, and also they're sharing their experiences with their younger brothers through this journey. And then you have the parents who've learned the experience of the recruiting process, of the development process. And so you look at a situation like Anderson Cummins now, the youngest for the Cummins family, representing Triple Balance. I mean, he's in obviously the best learning situation with having two older brothers. And Denzel, who plays for London Basketball Academy, he's having himself a monster year in the NPA. I mean, he's just leveled up from last year. Back to the action. We got Wisconsin back at it. Looks like, Nick, looks like both teams have settled down, a little bit better ball movement, a little bit more execution you're seeing here.
Definitely. Early on we saw both Wisconsin and Utah kind of go one-on-one, hit it to the guy at the angled corner, 3 balls. Now they're moving the ball a lot more crisp, a lot more clean, looking for better shots as we see a foul committed there. Great cut. Back to the kind of the Denzel situation there. He is having himself a monster year. As we see with the CYBL, these, you know, we've been here, we've seen the grade 4s, the 5s, the 6s, now we're on to the 7s, as well with a guy like Denzel, seeing a guy like Jalen Warren, playing with a guy like Jalen Warren. Now these kids are seeing the older kids within this same atmosphere dominate, do their thing, and they're coming back next year, the year after, monsters.
Absolutely. Oh, nice crafty move right there here. White team is grooving. Saw a little touch of creativity from number 20 on White. That was Josiah Sutton. Keep tabs on that one. Really advanced move there, tipping the ball up to advance it. I like it. Cummins for 3, does not hesitate.
Kind of looks like his brother on that one.
Nice rebound there for White.
Number 25.
So early on, we've seen Wisconsin kind of take this game by the throat. They were up 10-1. Things have kind of settled down. It's been kind of more even-keeled since there. We need to see White, Utah give a little bit more effort on the defensive end and see if they can run out, as we saw in that one play, sharing the ball, being able to finish on the fast break.
And that was Karan Bino. 2 free throws and a nice offensive board representing CIA Bounce. You look at his length, you know he's gonna grow. Nice steal there by Cummins in transition. Back and forth we go. Cummins gets it back to Bino. Good look. Extra pass there, off the mark is the 3. And here comes Wisconsin.
There you see a forward pass a little bit too long for Wisconsin, but if you're Utah, that's what you want to do. You want to push the ball. They're getting some good looks, going inside first, then taking it out.
That was a little right to left crossover. I like this kid, Josiah Sutton. Already early on, kind of caught my eye on a couple moves. He's got a little something to him.
He's got good explosion. He shows that he can change levels on his crossover, get low, kind of switch angles and switch speeds.
And I love his confidence as well on the floor. I mean, it's still early on, but these are the little things that, you know, when we're looking at these prospects, how do you stand out? And that feel for the game is apparent for Sutton. Josiah Sutton from NBA Collective.
And looking at the roster, NBA Collective has some good representation from their team. They've been doing some great things here at the CYBL.
That was Nicholas Simonovic out of the Waterloo Wolverines, the bucket there.
Great name.
Good movement by Black, couldn't get it to go. Oh, careless, near turnover. Yeah, Simonovic, you mentioned the name, and you mentioned the Serbian, likely Serbian roots. That Waterloo whole entire region, Kitchener-Waterloo, is just packed with Serbian population, and they all play ball. Got guys like Nadim Hodzic with the Waterloo Warriors now at the university level. And then, of course, the guys at SJK play in the NPA. Nice shot there. It's number 25, Karan Bino. That's his back-to-back buckets. Nick, you saw him inside earlier and now outside.
And I've also seen a couple good passes on his end. He's very active, as you see, contesting the layup there. A couple offensive rebounds as well. He's been all over this game. Team White, Utah, they're definitely bringing some more action. Great roll by Bino as he almost gets the and one.
And you're looking at him and you're seeing great fundamentals. He gave the screen, smooth roll there, had his hands out there for reception. And early on, you know, we're talking about standouts so far. He's left an imprint along with Josiah Sutton.
And let's also talk about the guard play there on the pick and roll. I mean, sometimes it's easy to get involved with players and their athleticism, their speed, their strength, their hops, but when scouting at the point guard position, it's very important to also take into account how does that point guard run the pick and roll. One of the fundamentals in basketball, wherever you play, NBA, Europe, you go play in Canada, anywhere, you need to know when people come out at you on the pick and roll, how to react to certain situations.
Yeah, it's an unguardable play, the pick and roll. It's all heavily based on instincts and making good reads. And to your point, that point guard is in the controls. There is Jam Goose. Oh man, they're just shooting runs in the blood, and you just saw that. Nothing but net and move the net up to the rim. They're gonna have to figure that out on the next play.
And you hear the oohs and ahs in the crowd. Everyone loves a good shooter.
(20-12) early on. Both teams getting comfortable right now. Confidence rising by the play. Here we go.
Team Utah here, they're definitely bringing more energy, not making shots though. They can't let that sink into their defensive effort. They need to continue to grab those defensive rebounds, have runouts, because right now they're showing that they can run on Wisconsin.
You know what I like about these All-Star games, especially at this level, is they're not necessarily here just to put on a show. They're here to compete, and they are competing at a high level. They are trying to defend. They are trying to win the game, and that's always good to see. Hopefully we see that at the NBA All-Star Game next month.
It's been highly debated, and that's why they've also changed the structure of the entire game, right? They're trying to get more people to watch it.
And Jam Goose was off there his second try, but that was Ethan Messiah. Ripped it out there and went for the easy bucket.
You gotta love the toughness there. He stuck with the play, put two hands on the ball, said thank you very much, I'll take my two and get back on D.
Taking candy from a baby. 25-12, White's trying to figure it out. Good defense by Black. Three ball no good. And here comes Noah Yu with it. His crossover there, floater game off the mark. And you know how I feel about the floater game, Nick.
Noah's a prospect that I've seen out of Oakville, working with Coach Tony McNeil, one of the absolute
Coach T.
Great developmental coaches that we have today in the Ontario system. He's a kid that I've seen now grow a bit. He's definitely putting more combo moves together, and as he continues to develop his game, that floater type of mid-range game has to develop as well, as he right now strictly kind of a three-point slasher.
Yeah, no question. That's a part of the game. I think there's a couple of different philosophies on that. Some people, especially at the NBA levels, it's almost based on a three ball or attack the rim. That mid range has sort of been missing for me. I love just to take what the defense gives you. And I think guys like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, the greatest ever, they always had that mid-range game. Paul Pierce, the Reggie Millers. Yes, they shot the three, but that mid-range game is crucial, especially when they're covering you out from deep. I mean, unless you're Steph Curry, you just go deeper and shoot it. Right on cue there, Nick.
Mr. Yu with the three. And Wisconsin here is shooting the ball very well. They're very tough to guard as they've been very unselfish, while Utah has kind of let the ball stick. They haven't moved it as much. They haven't really tried to do as many things as Wisconsin has on offense.
Jam Goose gives it up. Quick trigger there, off the mark. Good hustle there. That was Romel Russell. That's out of triple balance.
And on that play, as you see, the Utah bench is cleared. Subs are coming in. This unit has not been able to or defend at a high level right now, and Wisconsin is totally taking care of them, up 13.
4 minutes to go here. Real intense coaching on the sidelines right now. Coaches and players are not approaching this as your traditional all-star game. They are out to compete and out to win. I love it.
You gotta love it, right? And these coaches want to win just as much as the players do. So
if not more.
I don't see it calming down at all. I mean, right now Utah's got to get a hold of the game and kind of move the ball, get into pick and roll action with more of their dominant lineup in here.
Couple new names on the floor here. Taj O'Duke, representing the Northern Kings Central.
And there's just tons of talent here from all areas of Toronto. I mean, as Wisconsin gets another easy layup, they blow it, but surprise, surprise, offensive rebound putback. The talent coming out of Toronto, coming out of, as we see here as well, Brampton. I mean, they're littering this entire All-Star event weekend with numerous amount of players.
Nice bucket right there. Goes strong right, number 21. That was Matthew Dello representing Woodbridge basketball. Oh, that's a body right there. Full head of steam, put his head down, knew where he wanted to go. That was number 1, Ethan Messiah.
He looks pretty tough to guard at this age group. I mean,
that's some bully ball right there.
He's built very strong. You see him contest the shot there. Now he's running the floor very well. Won't get the ball, but at that size, with his ability to handle, he looks to be a terror in this age group.
In transition, cruise control. That was number 25, Karan Bino.
Bino's been one of the only guys really for Utah that stepped up. As we see him in transition there finishing, they're going to need him to kind of take a hold of this game as it's at 13 points right now with about 2 left in the first half.
Wide open 3, good shot, right off the mark there. That was Kevin Toth.
And that was a great look from Toth, in and out. Can't really dwell on that, just need to get back and do the things on this end, the defensive end.
Transition game again for White. Oh, a little sauce on that one. Oh, good. I like the hustle there though by Bino. Couldn't get it, but ran hard for the block. And that was number 4, Ramel Tissington on the finish. He's a name that keeps coming up. Ramel Tissington. Strong game for him early on.
And on those last 2 possessions, Ethan Messiah has done a great job defensively. There he was 3-on-1 on the fast break. Turns into a run out for his team, Team Wisconsin. And just recently just had his hands up in the lane, allowed his players to come across for the block. As they scramble on the defensive end, he's been definitely a guy that's left his imprints early on.
Thanks to everyone for joining us on the North Pole Hoops live broadcast. We'll have one more coming up featuring the 8th graders here at the CYBL All-Star Weekend. And of course, we'll be back on the broadcast March 1st to 4th for the NPA National Prep Championships. Stay tuned for our location announcement coming up this week. Back at it here, all the way, nice finish. He's been a low. Diego Ramos from Team Breakdown. He's one of the bigger players on the floor and looks to be of Filipino descent. You know, they've been really making their mark here in the Canadian basketball scene. Christian David, Matthew Daves, a lot of guys that seem to just have more height to them nowadays.
Oh yeah, and when you're looking at a guy like Diego Ramos at his size, I've seen him go up the floor a couple times here, very smooth, changes directions well. I mean, adapts to situations, sees the big guy, takes the contact, been able to finish, and when he doesn't, he's cleaning up his offensive rebound, putting it back in. Very impressed with him early on.
And I think also to speak to the evolution of the game, now, and credit, the international play, how it's impacted basketball at all levels. Guys are now out there, not just if they're 6'2", they're being put in the post. They're actually being developed holistically. All guys can dribble the ball, all guys can shoot the ball, and when you have guys like the Greek Freak at the NBA level and LeBron James and all these Karl Anthony Towns and all these guys that are so versatile, Anthony Davis, you got to just be able, if they can do it, that means any player can build all their skills regardless of height. Nice pass.
Ramos again with a great pass, and to your point, I mean, he's been able to grab some rebounds, and what you love to see with coaching nowadays is your big guys, they grab the rebound. Why not go coast to coast? The Charles Barkleys of the world, take that ball, take it from one end, bring it down to the other, slam it down, get your 2 points, and get back on D.
That will be it for the half. 37-18 is the score. Take a quick break.
History has been made in Canadian basketball.
From the Maritimes to the nation's capital.
I just like the sound.
Grady Cancun, my goodness.
To the 6.
Oh, big block there.
To the prairies.
By Deshaun Henry.
All the way to British Columbia. This is the NPA.
One hand jam! All over the defense! My lord!
Goodness gracious! Campbell with the facial.
Oh! E-man! Defense to offense.
Cummins, that is
No
not
way.
the guy.
No way!
Cummins. Plus the foul.
Got the answer! Wow! That's another good one there! Is Sammy Hunter.
Look at this. Danilo Jiricic ending his high school career with a dagger of a spike.
GTA prep wisely feeding the hot hand. Oh, nice step back cross through. And we got Sidney Kabongo on fire right now.
Oh! How about that nasty from Deshaun Henry?
Stick back jam. Chris Hagan.
Knock back.
Oh! Bringing the fans to their feet. Putting a man in the rim.
In transition with the cock back, one hand pounded. Woo! DeAndre Pierre all over the rim. Oh! Down the lane, Stephen Rawire.
Everybody on their feet as Canada Top Flight Academy are the first high school age national champions in the history of Canadian basketball.
I'm Lisa Hernandez, and I'm here live at University of Toronto's Bouldering Centre for the 2016 CYBL Showdown.
CYBL was so good. I wish I was grade 12 so I could come back.
It was great. I mean, it was really competitive. It's really hard to get all the best guys from Canada in one gym. And I think we did that today. I mean, it was really fun. And yeah, had a great time.
It's definitely a good experience. The league's a lot higher caliber and it's a really fun league to play in.
It was a wonderful experience.
Good competition around here, and I just got to play hard as you can play.
Well, we're excited to be here. It's fantastic competition, and just so thrilled and excited to be in the gold medal game this year.
It was very good, good competition. It was a good experience overall.
Yeah, we got to grow and learn as a team, and we got to learn how to play together.
16-0, baby. We feel great.
It's a very competitive league.
Kind of a lot of exposure
get to see a lot of different things, and I got to learn from my coaches and stuff.
Yeah, the boys improved quite a bit, so really happy with the competition here.
Nice, nice. I like the players. They're good.
I'm all the way up, and you can stay up. And if you ask anybody where I live, they point to the hills and say, go all the way up, go all the way up. I'm all the way up, I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.
Rep by rep, you push yourself. Effort is only half the battle. Doubt sets in. Why do you do it? Is it worth it? The lights turn on. All your questions are answered.
Today we're in North Bay with CYBL. We have about 200 campers in the gym. We wanted to come up here so we could work on all the fundamentals, the development, but also the experience.
This is camp, this is a sleepover. We want to make it fun, we want to make it exciting.
Camp so far is really good. We've been playing a lot of scrimmages, we've been training hard. It's fun because we have a big opportunity to be with WNBA star Tammy Sutton-Brown, and we're learning a lot.
Get back, ID! Let's go!
Basketball has its own culture in terms of apparel, and Under Armour has done a great job outfitting these kids.
They've really come in the basketball community and partnered with CYBL and given these kids so much.
Under Armour always makes me feel amazing. Like, shoes are light, so I can actually get up over the rim.
It's an opportunity because some kids around the world are not able to get some of these stuff.
It's just a great opportunity, and Under Armour has definitely provided them with all the gear.
Everyone has their story. What's yours? Were you born with the ball in your hands? Or were you a late bloomer? Are you a dead-eye shooter? Or a high flyer? Throws up an alley-oop! All elbow! Williams! Are you a leader? Or an elite role player? North Pole Hoops wants to know, what's your story?
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh! It's Judy Charges throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip it!
in. No good. 2 seconds to go. Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can't.
That man from Quebec can fly.
Exposure starts here.
Is it something that I've done again? Say what?
Here's Camel, look out, one hand down.
Seeing is believing. Create your very own mixtape that showcases your top highlights and skills. And strengthen your recruiting status with a direct video for coaches and scouts. Available at all NPH covered and hosted events nationwide. Email mdotto@northpolehoops.com for any inquiries and special filming requests. Exposure starts here.
Let's keep it going. Keep the intensity high.
Get your feet square. Get your feet square.
Take it home, write it down, grab a homie, and work on it. Work on it, master it.
AJ Lawson, go! He gets it to go! Wow! Pick it up, Jalen.
Oh my God!
Top 10, top 10.
Two-way players are the best players. Understand that. Two-way players are the best players.
Here's Sabri Phillips, two-hand jam!
Let's go, boy!
It doesn't matter from what city you're from, how tall you are, what school, what club you represent. Game speaks. There's no politics here.
NPH Scouting Service. The NPH Scouting Service is another platform for exposure with a network of over 300 coaches and scouts from some of the most recognizable brands and programs. Our scouts are constantly evaluating talent to ensure accuracy and credibility.
Victory is mine. We got no losses. We be bosses. Give it up cause you lost this. Smack your tooth loose from your gums. Now try to floss this. You want victory? You're about to toss this. Right up in my lap and in my arms. It's my time. Breaking out the wine. Fill my belly with the dime. Eating all you chumps like chips. Leaving bags. With tears in your eyes and sad. Looking at them sag. This is the rematch. The reroute. The repass. The victory is mine. Victory is mine.
Welcome back to the CYBL All-Star Weekend. We got a 37-18 ball game right now. MC is hype right now. And you see there, the crowd is going crazy. I got a special guest joining with me, founder of the CYBL, the Canadian Youth Basketball League, Shane James. As we're seeing the crowd engaged, we're seeing a Canadian basketball community all under one gym. Shane, when you first told me about the CYBL years ago, is this what you expected?
I think so, yeah. You know, it's been definitely a growing experience for us, building community, getting the community involved, getting high-level programs to commit to the league and to, you know, you trust the process.
Yeah, and we've seen the growth year to year. Last year, All-Star Game was high level. Under Armour coming in with the support. A lot of these sponsors coming in with the support, heightening up the experience for these youth. When you watch these guys, you see their length, you see their potential. Do you, like, you played at a high level. How would you sort of compare what you're seeing now and then when you were that age?
You know, when I played, the only league around, I should say, was the OBA.
Right.
And you know, it was very spread out. The talent was spread out, you know, through the country, throughout the province. There wasn't a one-stop shop where you have the best guys competing against each other in one building. And that's, you know, that's what we thrive on at the CYBL, and you know, we intended to do that, and that's how we've built this league.
What would you say objectives are moving forward? How would you guys want to kind of continue to take that next step and continue to grow, you know, in the future?
Well, we want to help some of the programs involved now develop more teams at every age group. Once we do that, you know, we could also get involved with some of the coaching, get some of the higher level coaches in the league, you know, provide resources or, you know, even provide their experiences to some of the other clubs.
And then before we get into calling this game together, because I know you got some media savvy to you, Shane.
Of course.
That confidence. On a general note, with Canadian basketball, we've seen all the guys get to the NBA, and you know, where we're talking about our national rankings and going through our database over the years, how you're seeing the depth and talent grow and expand. The high majors, it used to be maybe 5 guys high major, maybe 7 on a good class, and now you're seeing the depth 10, 15, and kind of trickling down to the D1 levels. Through you coaching and through you convening the league, do you see an upward trend or an expansion in the depth of overall talent?
Definitely. I don't see a plateau anytime soon. I think that the game is still growing. I think, you know, guys like myself who have played at a high level are now coming back, either starting programs or joining programs and sharing those experiences with the youth. And basketball has just been on a crazy rise. You know, we have so many guys in the NBA now, and as you said, guys going to high major schools, it's unbelievable. You know, when I played in the early 2000s, you know, maybe only 2 or 3 of us would go high major. Now it's like 20 plus,
right?
Which is amazing for the game.
And that's a great point you mentioned. You know, people ask about what's attributed to the growth of Canadian basketball. There's so many different factors combined into one, but for me, the big thing that stands out is exactly what you said about people giving back that played at a high level, whether that be in the form of league, coaching, building a program, media, all these different aspects that's giving back to the game. And actually, I see that the sort of industry in the basketball landscape transforming, because, you know, even when it comes to the coaching, it used to be just a parent, someone had to step up and coach the team. Now you have a guy that played national team, played D1, in some cases played NBA and played pro. So definitely we're seeing a lot of family ties as well. We talk about a lot of these kids have older brothers that play at a high level. How much? I got an older brother, and I'm gonna be a little biased. I always say the younger brothers always, you know, they get a chance to learn from the older brother and eventually add different things to the arsenal. Do you have any siblings? And if not, or if so, speak to the sort of the family ties. And I know you've had kids in your program that have had older brothers, and the growth and development rates.
Yeah, actually, I have 2 brothers. I'm the middle child. I have an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. he was a better basketball player. Up until high school, I think I got a little bit more exposure than he did, you know, playing on the provincial team and then also the national team. He missed that year for his age group. But, you know, in the CYBL, a lot of, you know, high-level high school players right now and even college guys have younger brothers playing. For example, Addison Patterson. His younger brother was an all-star in the game before.
Got the MVP, I heard, as well.
Yeah. And he had a phenomenal game. You could see, you know, his skill set is actually a little bit ahead of where Addison was at this age group. And his father actually told me that beforehand. He's a little bit more savvy, more athletic at this age. So, you know, Anderson Cummings is another one.
Triple balance.
His brother's at McGill right now, his oldest brother. And then he has a middle brother who's at London Academy.
LBA. We were talking with Nick, we've been watching a lot of him in the MPA, just, you know, really gain his confidence. Where Denzel was more athletic, he played with you guys.
Yeah, he did.
You know, not as tall as Isaiah, but tenacious. And, you know, his parents always say the same thing. Another one here, Barak Jamgoose, plays for Motion Marksman. His older bro, also with LBA, Okai Jamgoose, one of the best shooters in the country.
And Barak could shoot the ball too as well.
We saw he came in right off the jump.
I think if we had a three-point competition, he'd be one of the favorites.
No question. The Gwen's in the family there, and on the line right now is Team Black. 42-27 is the score. We're here at the CYBL All-Star Weekend. Joined with me is founder of the CYBL, Shane James. We're seeing a little full-court pressure right now from Black.
Black just seems a little bit more athletic. Vidal Messiah's nephew, Ethan Messiah, #1, has been a dominant force, you know, in the paint.
Okay, so that's his nephew. I knew there was I recognized the last name. He's a bulldog out there.
He is. Diego Ramos.
Another one. We're talking about, is it Filipino descent?
He is. He's got some size, some athleticism. Reminds me of a young Christian David.
Interesting. Yeah, we were talking about the whole Filipino basketball community, passionate about the game. But now you have guys that are at this age that are building all their skills versus being thrown in as a 4-man or a 5-man. So you're seeing these Filipino student athletes really at 6'1", 6'2", maybe one of the bigger guys on the floor that can dribble it.
You know, Chris Skinner, who's a colleague of mine, helps with the CYBL and also the head coach here at Thornley Secondary School. He's married to a Filipino, and his children are half, and they play in the Filipino leagues. It's a tight community, but now they're starting to really branch out and play in other leagues like the OBA and also the CYBL. So you're seeing that growth in some of their athletes. Just getting out and playing against other athletic guys.
Yeah, they're getting guys at a higher level, no question. Up top, it's #3 in Black is Jaden Mandani. Another familiar last name.
Team Breakdown. They're in first place right now in our 7th grade division. Ton of talent coming from Brampton.
Out of Brampton, Ontario. We're talking about the cities and the diversity across the province that you're seeing here. Oh, nice move there. It's fouled. It's #22.
Downey Mitchell. Ray John Downey Mitchell.
Triple balance kid.
Has a unique skill set. You know, by his physical makeup, he's going to be a very athletic player. He's very skilled, has a little pop to his game.
Shoe size 9.5. I like that we have their shoe sizes. Kind of speaks to how big they can grow. 13.5. Arjun Bardwaj, and then 13.5 for Ethan Messiah. So you know he's going to get up there in height.
Yep, absolutely. So Tarek, what do you think about how the gym looks?
I love it. I think you guys did a great job. CYBL and Under Armour decked it up top to bottom. Talking about the guy on the wall, Steph Curry, had a big night last night as well.
He did. He went up against
Kyrie.
Yeah, against
about
Boston.
40 or something like that.
Yep.
And we're talking about, you know, how how he's changed the game with shooting the basketball. It's kind of developed a different brand, for better or for worse. For him, you know, he's a guy that's slender. He's got to step out a little bit more to make guys respect him. So, you know, shout out to Under Armour and Steph Curry. You know, have contributed, you know, to the CYBL in a big way. And obviously, Steph Curry has some Toronto roots, which is ironic.
Yeah, with his wife Aisha. These kids, the package they received from Under Armour, unbelievable. Shoes, bag, uniforms, headbands, wristbands, T-shirts. Just what Under Armour is doing in our community has been great. It's really helped the growth of this league and added some extra value. That's for sure.
No question. Love how they're aggressive here in the basketball space, and fairly young company that's kind of always viewed as that underdog. So you know, it's great to see them contribute to the community, and obviously, you know, this experience is forever for these kids.
Yep.
Whether they make it to the NBA or not.
Yep.
Nice move.
And the finish.
This kid's gonna be pretty good. He continues to build his skills. I mean, he's already at the guard position and has pretty good height. One of the bigger guys in this game.
Close to 6 feet. That's a 7th grader. Has the length. Looks like he has long arms, long legs, and as you said, big feet.
And he's a fluid athlete. It doesn't look like he's a big guy that doesn't know how to move.
You see him handling the ball, running the point out there.
Good defense here by Black.
We got a jump ball situation.
And we're talking about a little bit about the rankings earlier on. Class of 2018 features Daniel Saki, who plays for you and is one of the top, if not the top point guard or fastest point guard in the country for sure. That 2018 class is a special class. Put out a tweet earlier talking about guys like, you know, Andrew Nemhard, Jalen Llewellyn, against Door, if you want to consider him a point guard. Saki, these guys are all high major caliber guys. Tell me about Daniel Saki. I know he's set to commit at some point very soon. Tell me a little bit about his game and what you've seen out of him this season.
You know what? I'm going to start with his character. Yeah. I mean, he's just a great kid, great teammate. He's a natural-born leader, and you know, whichever college he decides to go to, they're getting a guy that can come in and play right away. If they need him to score, he could do that. He's probably the quickest kid that I've seen. Jordan Henry was close.
Yeah.
Jordan Henry might be, you know, a little bit better in ball screens and managing a game, but right now, you know, Saki's he's learning to do that. But in terms of speed and athleticism, I've never seen anything like it at that size.
Explosive, yep.
So you know, he's going to be an impact guy right away for whatever college program he decides to go to. And you know what? Speaking of that, I think he's very close to making a decision.
No question. Daniel Saki out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Once again speaks to the talent from coast to coast.
The Winnipeg Jets.
Who's that?
That's Daniel Saki.
The Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, he's a guy I still consider fairly under the radar, you know. Definitely has offers, definitely has attention, but a guy that's going to shock some people in whatever conference he ends up.
Yep, absolutely. He's going to be that guy that changes coaches' game plans. They got to focus in on how to manage and guard that speed and athleticism.
And once he kind of masters the controlling of that speed, he's going to be scary.
Very scary, very scary.
Shot there. That's number 4, Ramel Tissington out of CIA Bounce. He's been having himself a good game. Black seems to be playing in another gear defensively, making shots on offense. Here's Toth with the ball. Gotta move it.
I think Black's just getting after it a little bit more. They're more aggressive, getting out in transition after, you know, playing a good possession of defense.
And stay tuned. Thanks for you all for tuning in. Stay tuned. Next game, the final game, the Grade 8 CYBL All-Stars take the floor, and I remember there was some big time finishes last year, some clutch buckets from these young stars. Looking forward to see what that next crop looks like, especially as that's that final year before they transition into high school.
Absolutely, it's a very talented bunch. Kids from different programs, various skill sets. It's going to be an exciting game.
Shane, any names that come to mind or guys that we should look out for in this next game here that maybe really stood out throughout this course of the season?
The kid Kwabena, he's a cousin of Antwi.
Okay,
Atawaheni.
Yep.
Yes, unique skill set, plays the guard position. Very, very talented scorer and playmaker. Look for him to have a big game. And then Jasmine.
Who does he play for?
He plays for Yace Canada Elite.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then the kid
Jasmine, yeah.
The big kid. 6'3".
Heard really good things about him.
Very
Scorer,
strong,
guard.
skilled. Yep. Look for him to have a big game.
Dreads.
Yes, yes.
I like seeing that. That's one way to distinguish yourself. Come up with the dreads.
Yep, yep.
And get buckets.
Subs coming in.
Preston Gale, another solid point guard. He's a playmaker, great three-point shooter. Expect him to have another good one.
Looks like we have a couple brothers. There's a Bino in this game. Not sure if they're directly brothers or cousins, but Jade and Bino here, also Northern Kings East, playing in that 8th grade game.
Miguel Braun is a 7th grader playing up for Toronto City Elite in the 8th grade All-Star Game
only 7th
as well.
grader?
He is.
Well, that's saying something. TCE, another program on the come up. Tyrone Bramble, another example of a former player, give it back to the community.
Yep, in Scarborough, former Mother Teresa Titan.
Yep. 55-33, 6 minutes to go in the game. Black has been in full control of this one. See if White can turn it up a little bit and make it competitive.
They got about 6 minutes to do so. It's funny, last year, every game, we had 6 games last year in the All-Star Game. Every game was within 7 points.
I remember that, yeah.
With a couple buzzer beaters.
And a score on the board.
Attack there. Black's just been too good defensively. They've put some pressure. They've been solid down low. They've been killing White on the offensive glass as well.
It's hard to keep the kid Diego Ramos off the glass. He's been crashing every possession, finishing layups, shooting threes, getting teammates involved.
And after these CYBL All-Star festivities, you have some sessions coming up, of course, leading into the showdown.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about those standings, who to look out for, who's been dominating. I know there's different age groups you're looking at, but for the viewers, when can they catch some of this action?
Well, they've completed 3 sessions so far in the league. We have another 2 in February, and then the showdown, which is a celebration of the full season with the 2 top teams who came out of the playoff round play for the championship, for the showdown. Right now, Team Breakdown South from Brampton, CIA Bounce, also from Brampton, Triple Balance, and Toronto City Elite are the top teams going into the 4th session in February.
There you have it, Brampton coming in strong here at the CYBL. Did some math as my man X comes to the booth. Yeah, we did some math, and that Peel region between Brampton and Mississauga make up for close to half the NBA players right now in the league.
I didn't know that.
I know you're an East Ender, but I know there are also some Toronto guys. to look out for still that are looking to make that next step. Justin Jackson being one of them at Maryland. I know he suffered an injury, season ending, but I know he's been recovering. A guy not to sleep on. Of course, Nikhil Alexander Walker, sort of Vaughan area, or Toronto.
Toronto, Scarborough. He's from Scarborough, yeah.
Then you have Shea Gilgis Alexander at Kentucky.
He's having a great year.
Having a great year, among the top of the depth charts. There is looking like he could be a potential lottery pick this year. And you know how it goes as we get closer to March Madness, depending on how you play. Stock up, stock down.
Yeah, that could change by the day.
Absolutely.
By the game. But Justin Jackson, he's recovering, you know, pretty quickly. He had a good surgery. He's actually expected to be back before the draft.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's doing rehab right now. He's in good spirits.
Jay Jackson at 6'8", point forward. Always looked at him as that Swiss Army knife coming up. And best wishes to him as he gets better. If you look at that 2017 class right now, very strong, which is the freshman class in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Followed by the 2018, you kind of, you know, as we're looking at it as a basketball guy, which class is stronger? Because 2018 you got R.J. Barrett, you know, you got Simi, you got Andrew Nemhard, Ignas Brzezikis, you know, the list goes on. Jalen Llewellyn, all legit NBA caliber guys.
So much talent in those 2 years.
Absolutely.
We might have what, 4 or 5 first-round picks?
Could be, and depending on how they develop, I mean.
Yeah.
There's other guys that are still sort of late bloomers to look out for, no question. I mean, Emmanuel Akot, we know he's at Arizona right now, not getting a lot of time, but you know, when you're at Arizona, you're dealing with NBA guys left, right, and center.
Some older guys too are playing in front of him.
Yep.
And he came out a year early too, didn't he? He could have come back for 1 more year.
Yep. You know, and that's a question that all seniors are faced with. They want to go that 5th year or stay, you know, finish in 4.
What are your thoughts on that, coming out early in 4 years?
I think it's situational. You know, you got guys like R.J. Barrett and Andrew Nemhard. They don't need the 5th year. They're ready to go and be impacted, potentially go NBA 1 and done. And then you have guys that are, you know, either trying to upgrade academically, upgrade from a skill, physical standpoint. I really think it's situational.
Yeah, absolutely. Some guys need that extra year for development or to get physically stronger.
Or exposure, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're under the radar and they might want to make a switch from the traditional high school into a prep or what the case may be. And to those tuning in from around the country, I know that out of province, typically, they're just used to going 4 years and done, but they do have that option of doing that post-grad year. You know, coming into, let's say, in Ontario in a situation like that, or in a prep school, joining the NPA, or in the States. We're trying to keep them in Canada, of course, but
of course,
you know, I think that year they get to transition to that speed and the athleticism overall.
Definitely helps them prepare for what's, you know, what they're looking forward to in the future.
And I think that's a good topic to talk about, the whole prep environment. You know, obviously you have the OSBA, you have the NPA. I think two avenues now where kids can look to stay home, and because in the past a lot of the guys were just leaving the States, and us watching high school ball, it's like, you know, it's tough. It's tough to watch and tough to evaluate because you know, every year. Now, what are your thoughts on that and that whole environment, and you know, what that means for Canadian basketball if we are to take the next step?
Well, I think, you know, since the game has grown so much and we've gotten so much exposure, staying home is where I would lean towards.
Right.
The OSBA is so competitive. There's so many, you know, night in and night out, you're getting a good game. The guys are getting scholarships. Guys are going straight to the pros from the OSBA. And same with the NPA, right? There's so many talented guys, so many good teams. Coaches are coming up to evaluate guys. The exposure's there. Why not stay home where you're comfortable? There's so many horror stories that I've heard, you know, down south with, you know, living conditions and meals and guys not getting fed.
Kind of just going into the middle of nowhere with.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough for a parent to make that decision, so early in a kid's life.
And again, that's sometimes everyone's looking for something different, whether it's the academic piece or skill development, or whatever the case may be. But to have the Canadian options is something, I definitely look at and say, hey, like when the basketball community can come out to a high school basketball game and see high level ball, that's how the game grows. The culture grows. You see all these people in the gym. They're out here to see top level talent, and CYBL, another great avenue to push the game forward.
Absolutely. I'm impressed with both prep leagues. It was needed.
No question.
And I think a lot more kids are staying home, which is great for basketball in our community. Both leagues have continued to grow as well. I think the OSBA has 12 teams.
Yeah.
How many are in the NPA now?
In the NPA, we have 13 teams, and I think it's a different concept, right? We're a national league, and you look at a perfect example, a program like Notre Dame out of Wilcox, Saskatchewan. Wilcox, like, people don't know what that is, and they're #1 in our league.
Wow.
They could win it all.
Wow.
And they came in, they've beat Toronto teams by 20 and 30, and and that's what it's about. It's about really building the game coast to coast. Even the kids and the parents that are in those other provinces, they got to look at an option and say, hey, I can make it out of my city. And so that's what we're trying to offer on a national level. You got a guy like Deshaun Henry. He's a top 10 kid we got
I heard
ranked.
about him.
He's a bulldog. He's another high major kid, 6'5" wing. And Fofo is another one, the 2019 guard they have. So they're going for it all.
Are they homegrown talent from Saskatchewan?
I believe all, if not 90% of the talent is from Saskatchewan.
Wow.
And that's something that's special to see. They come in, they beat Crestwood, they come in, they beat CTA out of Ottawa, defending national champs, and they're beaten by, they didn't beat CTA, they did beat Crestwood though, and they beat them by 20. That's a really strong team.
Yeah.
So that says something about the talent from coast to coast, and that's what we're trying to consistently push. We've had our conversations over the years of national, and you got Lindell Wigginton's of the world, out of Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Lacotte, Saki.
From Winnipeg, Manitoba.
The depth might not be there yet out of province, but you see, if you have one, you need to keep that in-house to kind of continue to build on it.
Absolutely.
62-41, we got a minute 17 left here. Grade 7 CYBL All-Star Game. Joined with me is Shane James, Commissioner of the CYBL. This is the free throw there. And we will wrap that up with Shane. I know he's got some commissioner duties to attend to. But thank you for joining us on this live broadcast.
Thanks
Doing
for
a
having
great
me.
job.
Much appreciated. Thanks
Fantastic
for coming
job.
out. Love the support from MPH. Hope to have you guys at the rest of our sessions.
We will be back for sure. That was Shane James doing a fantastic job building the CYBL in its fifth year, excuse me. CYBL in its 5th year here, and less than a minute to go until the 8th grade All-Star Game. We're going to do a substitution. Nicholas Zeffi, junior scout, back in the mix.
Next man up mentality.
Next man up. Shane gave you a little break there on the vocals.
Was able to chug a couple water bottles in the back. So I'm re-energized and ready to go.
Can never be too hydrated out here.
So next game, very, very exciting to see Jasmar Olembe play. He's definitely
That's a feature.
You hate saying a top guy or whatever that young, but he's a very, very good-looking prospect. He's very good at this point. I mean, there's a lot of basketball to play, but it's going to be a nice display with him and see what he can bring to the table. He usually is able to expand in these type of environments where it's free-flowing. So I know he's kind of been in my ear telling me he's going to do well. So Let's see how it goes.
No question, he's at the, early on, he's at the top of the class or near there. Of course, another one is Elijah Fisher. These guys are proving in different environments to consistently produce at a high level. And it's great because once those players are identified and then talked about at that level, those young kids are looking to be inspired to get to that level that are also all-stars right now. So it's all motivation, it's all inspirational, and it's all competitive. Competition's a part of life. It's a part of basketball, it's a part of life, and anytime you get to see the top dogs match up, that's how you grow. That's how you learn your weaknesses and grow.
And with these guys, it's not like the top guys are in America or anywhere else. They're in each other's backyard, so they're pushing each other consistently.
We'll take a short break on that note. 62-42. That was Black. Team Wisconsin takes it over Utah. Stick with us. We will be back for the 8th and final game, the 8th grade All-Star game here at the CYBL.